Hi everyone. So how is your day going today? I hope it's going well. The fact is we never quite sure what each new day will bring these days. Every day just seems to throw up new things, new issues for us to grapple with. But in case you're having a bad day, then take some encouragement from a guy called Job, because nobody had a bad day quite like him. Job was a fascinating character. The local papers would have written many column inches about Job. What can I tell you about him? Well, Job was as I say, he was a fascinating character. He had 7 sons and 3 daughters. He was a family man. He was a very wealthy man. He had flocks and herds and land. Uh, Everything was going really well for Job. Job was a good man as well. In fact, Job had a relationship with God. And it was that relationship that would prove crucial when the difficult day came. And that difficult day was about to hit. Things had been going well in the Job Corporation. And his sons and daughters had gathered together in the eldest son's house for a party. And everything was going swimmingly. But Job could never ever imagine what was about to happen. Because even as the sons and daughters were celebrating in the eldest son's house, along came one of Job's servants and said, Job, a terrible thing has happened. The Sabaeans have attacked, and they've taken all of your oxen and donkeys, and they've killed all of your servants, and only I am left to come and bring you the bad news. And Job was shocked with what he heard. I thought, how can this be? And no sooner was he trying to grapple with what was just been told to him, then along came another servant. And the servant said, Job, terrible thing has happened. The shepherds are out in the fields tending their sheep, and a fire as it was fell from heaven and burnt up all of your sheep and all of your servants. And only I am left to come and bring you this bad news. Well, Job was still reeling from that when yet another servant came and said, Job, the Chaldeans came in 3 raiding parties. They've taken all of your camels, they've killed all of your servants, and only I am left to come and bring you this bad news. And then, of course, the worst of all reports came when yet another servant, hot on the heels of the last one, came and said, Job, the most terrible news. Your sons and daughters were celebrating in your eldest son's house, and a wind came in from the desert and flattened the place, and they've all been killed. Job was distraught, needless to say. It would get worse for Job, because quite soon afterwards, he was to be afflicted with all kinds of sicknesses. Boils and sores would break out over his whole body, and poor Job was in a right state. Could it get worse? Well, it did actually, because those who should have been encouraging him at that time, his wife and his friends, seemed almost, as it were, to question his integrity. And while all this was happening, his wife said, why don't you just curse God and die? Well, why not indeed? That's what most people normally do, isn't it? We play the blame game. We try to push the responsibility on somebody else. And that's exactly what happened. But no, Job refused to do that. In fact, what Job did was he put his faith and his trust in God. In fact, I don't know whether you can see what's been happening to Job the whole time this story has been told. Job has been getting closer to God. You know, tough times can do that. They can either drive you away from God, or they'll drive you closer to God. And perhaps during this time of pandemic, we've all lost things that have been important to us, special to us. And maybe we've looked somewhere to pass on the blame for that. Blame the government, blame somebody else, blame God. Or we could allow those very same circumstances to draw us close to God. And that's not a bad thing, you know, because God is longing for that close relationship with us. And in this time of pandemic, has caused us to ask questions, caused us to reevaluate, caused us to look at how we spend our lives and live our lives, the things that we do, the things that we count important, then probably that's a good thing. Jesus said, store up treasure in heaven, not on earth. The stuff we have down here is so easily taken from us. Life can be so fragile. And yet there is an eternity that God promises for all of those who have faith and trust in him. Things turned round for Job, and what he had was restored and more besides. We don't know what the future holds, any of us, but I know who holds the future. And I know that he will keep me safe, not just in this life, but for eternity. Why not turn to him right now? Why not seek him? Why not talk to him? Pour out your situation. And he promises that he will draw close to us. Bless you. Talk to you again soon.